All right, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes we just like to put a picture up there and make you think they're going to talk. We keep you on your toes that way. Before we get to Peter Morici, folks, I want to remind you all to tune into Newsmax TV tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for extensive coverage of the State of the Union address. Newsmax's J.D. Hayworth and Miranda Khan will be joined by high-level commentators, including John Fund, to discuss the president's speech and what's ahead for 2016. 9 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on Newsmax TV. And joining us right now is economist and professor at the University of Maryland, Peter Morici. Hello, sir.
Hi, how are you?
Good to talk to you, sir, as always. All right, so the president, again, and I don't think there's been a State of the Union that he hasn't struck a similar theme, looking for more money from the filthy, disgusting, rich people of this country, as he would think of them, I'm sure. He wants, what, $320 billion more in taxes to give everybody free stuff?
Yeah, for the people that actually benefit, it would come out to about $200 per person. Some people more, some people less. It's hardly enough money to make a difference, unless you're one of the big winners, like you have a child under the age of 5. So for a few years, you'll get a big child care credit. But by and large, what this is about is doing nothing. He knows the GOP won't bite at this. The GOP knows darn well that these high capital gains taxes will kill off small business, because they'll kill off financing for new businesses. So what he's really saying is I don't want to compromise. I lost the election, and I would just as soon go home, end my term on the tax laws that I have. There might be some, embroidering at the edges, but the real news in this administration, the last days, is going to be on things like trade policy. He wants to negotiate those deals in Asia, and he's going to try to get those. This is just to set up Clinton's campaign.
Right. This is a populist message, and he hopes that it resonates. So, when the Republicans say no, he could say, see. But, I mean, this is old, and this is tried and true, tested. And, I mean, there was a resounding, we don't like your policies in November. Yet here we go again. But I got to ask you this. We've seen polls that show people are feeling better about the economy, better about, because the price of gas is low, because supposedly it's easier to get a job. Are we to believe those numbers? Are we to believe that people really feel that the economy is better when there are so many who dropped out, so many who left the workforce, that wages are lower than when Obama started? What's the truth here?
Well, the economy has gotten a little better, and so those economic poll numbers have gotten a little better, but they're hardly good numbers. I mean, the numbers of people say that the economy is good is fairly low still. It's just better than it was before. 1 out of every 6 men between the ages of 25 and 54 does not have a job. And 72% of them are not looking at all, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. 72%. Now, all you have to do to be looking is to send out 1 resume a week. Basically, ESPN, you want to know who they're reaching at 2 in the afternoon on Wednesdays? It's guys who collect food stamps, have Medicaid for health care, mooch off their girlfriends, have a place to live. That's who's watching ESPN at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or the NFL Network, or what have you. It's America's new leisure class.
But the problem for Republicans, and maybe the problem in general, is that they'll vote Democrat when they hear about or they get this quote-unquote free good stuff.
Absolutely. That's what the president's banking on. Now, in the midterm elections, it didn't work. But in presidential elections, it seems to. Because, most presidential candidates the Republicans put up look like George W. Bush or Mitt Romney. Very white, very Protestant, very, very prosperous. And they look like the anathema, the Antichrist. These are the guys on Wall Street. I mean, heck, the Republicans couldn't have put up a guy with a tougher bio to overcome than Mitt Romney, than they did in the last round. Also, I'm of the view, and I've said this before, that Hillary Clinton striking these feminist chords, things like comparable pay and so forth, and paid maternity leave and what have you, a program for girls in the schools. Do you know that 60% of the college students are women? Our schools are failing one of the genders. It's men. But she'll hit those chords, And the cubicle girls, the women that read Glamour magazine and sit in cubicles and offices all around the country, will vote. Frankly, the Democrats could put up Minnie Mouse, and Minnie Mouse would be elected president of the United States. In fact, if you really look at Liz Warren really close, it's really Minnie Mouse gone to Radcliffe. Lots of slogans.
I'll have to check that out, Peter. I'll have to check for that. I'll have to check for that next time. Thank you for the tip, though, Peter. Great talking to you, Peter Morici. Up next, former Georgia Congressman Bob Barr.